What is up, everybody? It is me, DevilNeverCry, and in today's video I'm featuring something that a lot of you have requested, and that is of course handcam footage of me playing DMC5. So in the background you should be able to see some void mode footage of me just messing around and playing how I usually play. I'm not going for any super crazy stylish combos, I'm just sort of showing what normal play is like, and somewhere on the screen you should be able to see my hands. Now I do have to apologize in advance because the footage of my hands isn't the best. I use my phone obviously to record all the footage, and the lighting in here isn't the greatest, so I have had to bump up the brightness on the video quite a bit, which might make things a little washed out. Nevertheless though, things to improve upon in the next time I feature my handcam footage. But I wanted to briefly take the time in this video to discuss DMC and my playstyle in general. So for those of you who don't know, I've been with the series for quite a while, since the first game in fact, but it wasn't until 2012 with the HD re-release collection that I sort of delved into the more advanced mechanics like the jump cancelling, the weapon switch cancelling, things like that, because believe it or not, they can be used not just for being stylish but for efficiency, and they were absolutely paramount in helping me achieve the platinum in all 3 games at that point. But it wasn't until 2015 with the release of DMC4 Special Edition, where console got access to turbo mode, things like that, where I sort of delved deeper into the advanced mechanics, more so for stylishness, I guess you could say. And I obviously started off with Nero. He seemed to be the simpler character in DMC4, so I gravitated to him and his playstyle, and I liked the Exceed, the Blue Rose, what they were going for, and it was advanced plays and their tutorials that sort of helped me dive into that. So, to name a few, 2B Power or Chase Attack, they've put out fantastic tutorials, so those really helped. And I get a lot of questions about, how am I so, good or great or whatever you could say at Nero and DMC5, which, I don't think I'm great. I mean, I'd say I'm decent, but I'm definitely not the best, and it's mainly due to the fact that a lot of things from DMC4 have carried over to DMC5, and I've put in a decent amount of hours into DMC4 Nero in general. I think adding up my PC playtimes along with console, it's coming up to almost 300 or just over 300 hours, which isn't a lot compared to a lot of players out there who've put in almost 1,000, if not more, hours into the games. But it just goes to show that these things that you see people do in combo mads and such videos, it's something that takes a lot of time and a lot of practice, and you have to learn the ins and outs of the characters. And one thing that I found in particular is that once you sort of have a basic grasp of the fundamentals, looking to other players, other videos to inspire you, seeing how other people play is always interesting and insightful, because you might pick up on a few things that you never would have thought to do yourself. And it's sort of that mix and mash of taking certain things you like, or putting your own spin on things, that allows you to pull off stylish combos, I guess you could say, or stylish play in general. Freestyle is a thing that people like to do, along with creating preset combos and stuff. But the main thing I guess you could say is just to practice, like getting consistent. There's no other way around it than sort of building that muscle memory, just consistently doing things over and over until it's second nature. Because at this point it's got to the point where I don't have to think about exceeding, and I might not hit them all the time, but I'd say 80% of the time I'd hit them, and especially considering they're a lot easier in this game as well. Or my hands no longer cramp up about having to consistently charge the Blue Rose, because I've done it for so long now that it's it's second nature. And you can see the effect that practice has on gameplay when you take a look at my Dante and Nero Bloody Palace runs. One of them is consistently better than the other in terms of stylish play, simply because I've put a lot more hours into one character over the other, and playing with one character feels more comfortable than the other, and that's solely because I just haven't put as much time into Dante as I have with Nero. And at this point, I know I've essentially been rambling for 5 or so minutes, but if there's a few things to take away from the video, it's that practice and dedication will get you to where you want to be, provided you're doing the right things. And of course, that's where the tutorials and stuff come into play, and I've been getting an overwhelmingly positive response to the tutorials that I've put out. Just helping people get a grasp of the fundamentals and the basics of DMC, or in general, not just DMC5. And I'm glad that people are finding them useful, because these games are a lot more fun when you know what you're doing, and once you know what you're doing, you can then sort of build off of that foundation to just get better and better. But with that said and done, it has been me, DevilNeverCry. I would like to thank all of you for watching, and as always, I'll see you next video.